Hey, welcome back. Do you want to make your dog's meals but still worried about getting the formula right? Trust me, I know I was sitting right where you are not that many years ago, kind of too scared to try in fear of getting it wrong and actually hurting my dogs. Well, after a lot of procrastination and false starts, I discovered it's actually not that hard, and it's not nearly as expensive as I thought it was going to be. Stick with me. By the end of this video, you will have a shopping list and the confidence to DIY your doggo's dinner. So let's get prepping. Now, I am asked all the time to create custom dog meals for specific size, breeds and ages of dogs. So today I'm going to share with you a super easy, cheap DIY beef recipe you can make for your doggo today using easy to source ingredients found in your local supermarket. To make my brain hurt less, again, maths and I are not the best of friends, I'm going to give you the exact ingredients and amounts to make for a meal for a 20 kilo adult dog of moderate activity levels. This recipe is very much a general base, but it's as balanced as I can possibly make it in a single meal. Remember, a complete and balanced diet happens over time, weeks in fact. So remember, the key rule when feeding raw, mix it up, provide variety over time, and don't just feed the same protein source day in and day out. That being said, this video is to firstly and most importantly show you how easy and quick it is to make a dog, your dog, a healthy and balanced meal, and secondly to empower you with enough confidence to go forth and make the best damn dinner your doggo will have ever tasted, knowing that you have ticked all the nutrition boxes. Okay, I went shopping and I've left all the ingredients in their packaging to show you how much food you actually get for your dollar. I'll give you a cost summary at the end of this video so you can see I'm not just making it up. The DIY food is very cost effective. For the beef recipe, we've got obviously some beef mince, we've got some lamb hearts, some lamb liver, some chicken necks. These are a great time-saving hack, frozen veggies. Now make sure you steer clear of the pea and corn mix. This one happens to be winter veggies with broccoli, cauliflower, beans and carrots. Some eggs, some turmeric, some hemp meal that's been ground down, the hemp seeds that have been ground down. The shiitake mushrooms, these are found in most of the Asian sections of the supermarket. Some sardines and some fresh mushrooms, which we'll talk about later, as well as some extra virgin coconut oil. Now, here's our beef recipe ingredients for a 20 kilo adult dog that isn't all that active. This is not a recipe for puppies, nor is it a super active working dog recipe. How do I know how much food to make for my 20 kilo dog for a day? Well, it's an easy formula. A 20 kilo dog that's not all that active should eat around 2% of his current weight. So, maths here. 2% of 20 kilos is 400 grams per day. And for all our American friends, the maths to convert is way beyond me, so I've asked the interwebs, thank you interwebs, to calculate for me, and it's on screen below and in the recipe listed as well. Okay, there are a couple of things to do beforehand, the first being the veggies. Dogs' digestive systems are different to ours. They're much shorter and they also have different enzyme makeup in their saliva. Therefore, they have trouble breaking down and digesting the plant matter. Veggies are an excellent addition to their meals for all the same reasons that they are excellent for us. They're packed full of vitamins and minerals and fibre. Some people like to mince or blitz up the veggies for dogs and include them in this way, but I believe that lightly cooking them ensures the cellular structure is broken down, therefore allowing for much better vitamin and mineral absorption than the mincing or blitzing method. Now, the ingredients for one 400 gram meal are 170 grams of meat. This is ground mince. Look for the 80-20 fat ratio if your dog has no pancreatic issues. If so, go for the leaner mince. One egg, including the shell. The shell contains calcium, about 50 grams. One chicken neck, 40 grams of liver, lamb liver. This is really high in copper. 30 grams of lamb heart. I left the heart whole so you can see what it looks like, but there's our weighed amount that we need. 10 grams of mushrooms. Just make sure you cook them to achieve optimum nutrient absorption. 30 grams of your mixed veggies. Just avoid the peas and corn mixes as I mentioned, and make sure you lightly cook them. 1 tablespoon of extra virgin coconut oil. 1 teaspoon of hemp meal, and 1 teaspoon of turmeric. And that's the ingredients. Okay, into the bowl we go with the mince, our egg, inclusive of the shell. Just give it a bit of a crunch like that. Why waste all that gorgeous calcium? Okay, cooked mushies, in we go. is our blitzed vegetable mix that's being cooked, obviously. Heart, liver, and our sardines. There we go. I've left a little bit of the spring water in there as well because it's great. Now we've got a tablespoon of the coconut oil on top, like so. I've got a teaspoon of our hemp seed meal. And a teaspoon of our turmeric. There we go. Like that. Give it a good mix. I like to mix this just to hide the veggies and the turmeric in there. If you put the turmeric on the top, some dogs will turn up their nose at it because it's quite a strong smell. And into the bowl we go. And garnish with a chicken neck. Voila, there you have it, dinner. Now for the cost of this entire day's worth of food. Now, I'm going to share with you a super easy, super cheap DIY chicken recipe you can make for your doggo's dinner now, using easy to source ingredients found in your local supermarket. But to make my brain hurt less, maths and I are not the best of friends, I'm going to give you the exact ingredients and amounts to make a meal for a 10-kilo adult dog of moderate activity levels. This recipe is very much a general base, but it is as balanced as I can make a single meal for you. Remember, a complete and balanced diet happens over time, weeks in fact. So remember the key rule when feeding raw, mix it up, provide variety over time, and don't just feed the same protein source day in and day out. That being said, this video is to firstly, and most importantly, show you how easy and quick it is to make your dog a healthy and balanced meal, and secondly, to empower you with enough confidence to go forth and make the best damn dinner your doggo will ever have tasted, knowing that you have ticked all those nutrition boxes. If you like the content that you're seeing today, please like and subscribe. It makes a huge difference to our channel and it enables us to keep making content like this for you guys. Okay, so I went shopping this morning and I've left the ingredients in their packaging to show you how much food you actually get for your dollar. I'll give you a cost summary at the end of the video so you can see I'm not just making it up. DIY food is very cost effective. Now, this is the haul I got this morning from the supermarket. Here's our chicken recipe ingredients for a 10-kilo adult dog that isn't all that active. This is not a recipe for puppies, nor is it for super active working dogs, as it's very lean. As you can see, the chicken mince has less than 2% fat in it. So we've got some chicken livers, we've got some beautiful chicken hearts happening here, chicken feet, some sardines. Obviously, always look for the ones with no added salt and in spring water. Don't use the ones that are in oil or with added salt. Mushrooms. Now, mushrooms are fantastic, and a really good cheats hack I've discovered is the dried shiitake mushrooms you can find in the Asian section of your supermarket. It's much cheaper buying them like that than what it is buying them fresh. And shiitake mushrooms, dollar for dollar, have far more nutrients than your traditional old button mushrooms that we have here. Extra virgin coconut oil, some ground hemp seed meal, some turmeric powder, and because I'm time poor and can't be bothered, some frozen veggies. This is a frozen winter veggie mix. It's got beans, carrots, broccoli, and cauliflower in it. Now, a very important question here. How do you know how much food to make for your 10-kilo dog for one day? Well, it's a super easy formula. A 10-kilo dog that's not all that active should eat around 2% of his current body weight. Maths here, 2% of 10 kilos is 200 grams per day. And for all our American friends, the maths to convert this is way beyond me. So I've asked the interwebs to calculate for me, and it's on the screen and in the recipe listed below. Okay, so we have our ingredients here for our 200-gram meal for our 10-kilo dog. We've got 90 grams of chicken mince. Look for the hormone and preservative-free one. 20 grams of chicken liver, lightly chopped. Liver is the highest copper-rich food. 15 grams of chicken hearts. I've discovered 2 of these little hearts equals 15 grams. 5 grams of lightly cooked mushrooms. These are really high in vitamin D. There's 20 grams of our cooked Blitz veggie mix, which was the frozen winter veggie mix that I mentioned. Just avoid the peas and corn mixes when you're in the frozen section. We've got 10 grams of tinned sardines. I've got a little bit of the spring water still in there. We've got some extra virgin coconut oil, a teaspoon of that, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, and half a teaspoon of hemp powder. Well, let's get mixing. Okay, there are a couple of things to do beforehand to prep. The first being the veggies. Dogs' digestive systems are different from ours. They're much shorter and they also have a different enzyme makeup in their saliva. Therefore, they have trouble breaking down and digesting plant matter. Veggies are an excellent addition to their meals for all the same reasons that they are excellent for us. They're packed full of vitamins, minerals and fibre. Lightly cooking them ensures the cellular structure is broken down, allowing for a much better vitamin and mineral absorption for your doggo. Okay, well, let's get cracking. Okay, into the bowl goes the chicken mince. We've got the chicken liver, lightly chopped, or finely chopped rather. That disguises it. A lot of dogs turn their nose up at the texture of liver. There's our hearts, once again, just diced. Yeah. Got our cooked veggie mix. In it goes. Our tinned sardines with a little bit of the water on the side there. Lovely. Our cooked mushies. And then we've got a teaspoon of the extra virgin coconut oil, like so, on top. Beautiful. A very scant half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, excellent for anti-inflammatory joint health. And a half a teaspoon of our milled hemp seed hearts. There we go, beautiful. Let's give that a good mix to disguise the liver in there. And garnish with a chicken foot. Beautiful, dinner is served. And there you have it, a super quick and easy balanced meal using ingredients you can find in pretty much any supermarket. Give it a good mix, pop the chicken foot on top and step back and watch your doggo enjoy his dinner. Now, as promised, here's the cost for this entire day's worth of food. Hey, welcome back. Are you on a budget? Do you feed dry food to your dog? Do you want to know what you can add to their bowls to make it taste better for them? Let's explore all the yummy side dishes at the dog food buffet that literally cost you nothing but cents. I know how much you love your dog, just like I do, and that I also know that sometimes money doesn't stretch as far as we'd like it to. It's a no-brainer. You adore your furry child and you want them to eat as well as they possibly can. Well, let me help you achieve just that. Excellent nutrition on a budget. It is possible and really easy with some super budget saving pantry hacks. Woof. Say that 3 times. Here are my top 3 Super Bowl combos for 3 different size dogs with a full cost down of each. Let's go. So, supermarket kibble. This one comes in at about $9 a kilo and is a tender chicken and veggie mix. Not sure how this is tender, but anyway, I'll trust them. Okay, first and foremost, the most important thing is to rehydrate your kibble. And this applies to all dry foods, whether they be air dried, freeze dried, or extruded like this. Currently, it's sitting around 10% moisture. It's dry in comparison to raw meat. Raw meat's about 70% moisture. So we're building bowls today for a 4 kilo dog, a 7 kilo dog, and a 25 kilo dog to compare. And we've got the full cost breakdowns for you, done and dusted. Okay, so here we have our supermarket brand Kibble. We've allocated this out and used the measurements on the back of the packet, and this is the recommended feeding guide for a 4 kilo dog, a 7 kilo dog, and a 25 kilo dog. Now I've reduced this by about 15 to 20% because we're going to add some other wonderful foods to really boost the nutrition profile. Now, the first thing you need to do with all kibble is you need to rehydrate it. So with a 4 kilo doggy, we're just going to use 1/4 cup of water because there's about nearly 1/2 cup of dry food in here. First things first, let's rehydrate that. Very important. Okay, so that's number one. We're going to rehydrate the 7 kilo one now as well, and we're going to be using coconut water for this one. It's full of wonderful enzymes and electrolytes. It's really, really good. Most dogs love the flavour of it. Also, if you have a hangover, I absolutely recommend coconut water. Dogs don't get hangovers, but we do. We won't talk about that anymore. Okay, there's number 2. And the 25 kilo dog over here, we're going to rehydrate with our bone broth. The reason why I'm using the bone broth for the 25 kilo dog is because larger dogs often have problematic issues with their joints as they age. This is just a little bit of preventative feeding. So as they get older, they get stiffer and sore. This will help alleviate arthritis and osteo-like effects. We'll just pop our bone broth in there, give it a bit of a mix, let that sit there for a couple of minutes, soak up all the goodness. There we go. Yum. All right, that smells really good actually. All right, so the 4 kilo doggy. Now, the first thing that I like to add to all of my budget food style feeding bowls is cooked vegetables. Now, I've cooked these veggies up. This is all the stuff that's been marked down from the fruit and veg store. Again, we're saving money. This is budget hacks, okay? This particular mix that I've made up happens to be seasonal and literally the marked down things. We've got carrots, beans, pumpkin, cauliflower, broccoli, what is this, mushrooms in there as well. Literally just cooked down in some water, okay? So that goes into the 4 kilo mix. That's about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons ratio. In we go. Delicious. Okie dokie. It's that one. And then we go to the 7 kilo dog's bowl, and that's about 2 to 3 tablespoons of cooked veg. Lovely. In that goes as well. Oh, there's a pea shoot in there I just saw. Then we've got our 25 kilo dog bowl over here. This one gets about 1/2 cup, okay? Again, veggies are brilliant for dogs. They're a very, very, very good cost saving trick to give your dog really good quality nutrition when you're on a tight budget, okay? So don't be frightened of veggies. My dogs get vegetables every day. So veggies go in, give that a bit of a mix. Okay, it's looking pretty good so far. Now we go back to the 4 kilo doggy. So the trick here with adding things to your bowls is you want a protein, you want some sort of antioxidant and some sort of, I like seafood and definitely some oil, okay? So with our little 4 kilo doggy, I might go for some extra virgin olive oil. So that one is a tiny little amount, just a little bit of healthy fat. This is the extra virgin variety, obviously it's lovely and green. Pop that in. It's about a teaspoon, okay? Lovely. Give that a good mix. Now with our 7 kilo doggy, I'm going to go for, let me think about this, I'm going to go for coconut oil, okay? Now extra virgin coconut oil, not promoting any brands here, but you can get it from the supermarket. It's really cheap, okay? It's very, very good for gut microbiome, and it's also extremely good for pretty much skin and coat health as well. So that's a nice heaped tablespoon in there. You don't want to go crazy with your oils and fats, okay? Just a little bit just to top it up rather, sorry. A bit of a mix. Now, the last one, which is not quite budget hacky, but it's a nice way to get seafood or quality fish oil into your dog's diet. These are fish oil capsules, okay? So most dogs will go and spit them out. They don't want to eat them because they're a difficult thing for them to understand. Simply cut them in half. It's very simple, okay? They can have the capsules. They're basically made from gelatin. They're fine. Just pop one in there. Now, because this is a 25 kilo dog, I'm not going to give them fish oil every day. Every second day or so, you can give 1 to 2 of these. These are 600 milligrams. Okay, so you don't want to go crazy with too much fish oil, but it's very, very good every second day. Applicable for all size doggies, not just your 25 kilo dog. Okay, next fun things we're going to add is some proteins, all right? So we've got some green lip mussels. These are New Zealand green lip mussels. We've got some eggs. Now, all I've done with these eggs is I've literally made a little crunchy omelette. So crack the egg, whisk it, pop the eggshell into the mix as well. As you can see a little bit in there. A little bit there. That is your beautiful calcium, okay? So I'm going to pop a little bit into each bowl because, you know, I've made quite a decent amount here. So 25 kilo baby gets a couple of bits. Okay, 4 kilo baby gets about that much. And your 7 kilo baby gets about that much as well, okay? Protein, eggs are a brilliant source of protein and amino acids. They're cheap, they're wonderful. Love eggs. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is, once again, I've got all the proteins here, is, let me see, green lip mussels, very, very good for joint health, all right? So my 4 kilo dog happens to be a dachshund. We all know this. These are, you know, obviously examples. I love to give my dashies green lip mussels. So these are just frozen straight from the fishmonger and they're raw, okay? Let's see, we can do 1 to 2. I'll just do 1 today, that'll do the job. With a 7 kilo bub, I think we might go for some wingtips. So these are chicken wingtips here, okay? Beautiful calcium, teeth cleaning as well to a certain degree. So we'll pop in a couple of those, just add that into the bowl there. Okay, little wingtips, squash them in because if your dog is anything like my dog, they'll pick all the good stuff out first. There we go, so wingtips in there. And I've got the chicken here. These are chicken necks, okay? Wonderful, cheap. They're about $3 a kilo. They are fabulous for their bone content and they're very, 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 very good for everyday feeding. So in this case, the 25 kilo bub, he's got his fish on. He's going to get a couple of beautiful meaty chicken necks as well. Okay, lovely. Now, what's missing? The 7 kilo one. Now, sardines. Okay, you can buy sardines fresh from the fishmonger. They're about $8 a kilo. In this instance, tin sardines are fantastic because this happens to be what I had on hand. And these were marked down. These were 90 cents a tin. So these are in spring water. Don't feed them the ones that are in oil, olive oil. Definitely don't feed them the ones with chili. So your spring water is a fantastic addition. Your spring water sardines, rather, are a fantastic addition to the bowl as well. So 7 kilos, lucky he gets wingtips and some sardines. All right. So the last thing that we can add as well, if we are feeling very generous, is some berries. So these are full of antioxidants. These are the cheapest way you can get your berries. They're frozen, okay? Simple, straightforward, frozen berries that you can use in your smoothies. I'll pop a couple in that bowl there, okay? Yeah, I might give the big one a big couple too, just for good luck. There we go. And there we have it. The cheapest and easiest way to really, really boost and fortify every single bowl of kibble you feed. No matter the quality of the kibble, this will most definitely bring the nutrient profile up from here to here. So explore what's in your cupboard, have some fun, buy the markdown things in your supermarket. When you see stuff that's marked down, grab it, you know. Everything's on rotation, everything in moderation, fantastic. Hey, welcome back. I'm sure you'll recognise this incredibly well-known jingle for one of the best-selling treats found in all good supermarkets. And bear with me, I can't sing. And as for copyright purposes, I've had to change it up a little. So, dogs go wacko, dogs go wacko, dogs go wacko for shh. You know the idea. I know you, we can do better than these. It's so easy and cheap to make your own, and they can be customised for your dog's tastes and also address health problems at the same time. So, let's get cooking. I was watching commercial television the other night, took a break from streaming, and an ad came on reminding me why I never watch commercial TV anymore. There are more ads than actual programs. Anyway, this commercial caught my eye as it was really cute, an animated dog flying through the stratosphere, looping the moon and flying back to Earth and into the arms of his loving owner. Dog is certainly going wacko for that treato that starts with an S. Look, I'm sure they do, but what if I told you there are so many better ways to treat your dog with real foods that never need a disclaimer stating things like this? This product is intended for occasional or supplemental feeding only and does not form part of a complete and balanced diet. Feed in moderation and always have fresh water available. And 10 ingredient lists that contain not one, not two, but 3 listings of MSG. One which was enticingly called a palatate. Yum. Well, this got me thinking, why do people buy these sorts of treats when clearly they aren't even that great for their dogs, if this has to be stated by these companies? And my very next thought was, why not give you some easy recipes to make at home? And I promise you'll be humming that damn jingle while you make them. I'm humming it to myself right now, unfortunately. Before I go any further, I'd just like to talk about the word treats. It implies a small, occasional, nice-to-have snack that should not be eaten all the time. Think of a chocolate bar. They're delicious, but not terribly good for you. Hence the term treat yourself occasionally. Now, I shall continue to refer to these recipes as Treatos, but they're actually not. They're real food with real nutritional purpose, but that's a mouthful to say. So Treatos it is from now on. And the most definitely can form part of a complete and balanced diet. In fact, they will definitely bring variety and actually fortify their daily nutritional intake while addressing any health concerns your dog may have. The following recipes are all flexible and ingredients can be changed up if need to be to suit your dog's needs or tastes. I have listed some of the nutritional benefits for each recipe, and it's a general guide only. If you're outside of Australia, sorry, we cannot ship the supplements mentioned, but no stress. You can make them all without them or add your own. Bring on the Treatos! We are going to be making 3 different treats today, all protein based. As you can see, the ingredients are real foods, not a list of chemical numbers. We've got 3 proteins. We've got some chicken, some turkey, and some fish. We've got beautiful free-range eggs, some pumpkin with the skin on, some sweet potato with the skin on, and some coconut flour. And we're going to use some of our organic meal supplements today to really boost the nutrition. First up, turkey thyme Treatos. So what are the benefits of this recipe? Low fat, great for pancreatic sufferers, novel protein, which is low allergy, high in omega-3 and 6, anti-inflammatory, which reduces joint inflammation, high in antioxidants, and an excellent source of prebiotics and protein. Now, the turkey thyme ingredients are simply a tray of turkey mince, as lean as possible, so that's 500 grams. In it goes. We've got our 2 eggs beaten, including the shell once again. Don't waste them. The shell is a wonderful nutrient-packed, calcium-rich additive that costs you nothing. We've got our chopped sweet potato, which is 1 cup, including the skin, because that's very important. The fibre is very important. In it goes. And then we've got 2 tablespoons of our beautiful Super Greens meal supplements. Now, the benefits of this mix are it's low fat and it's a cheap protein. It's high in plant-based proteins, high in iron, anti-inflammatory, which helps to reduce skin conditions such as redness and irritation, high in antioxidants, high in A and C vitamins, and contains phytonutrients, which are an excellent source of prebiotics. Now, after a really good mix, line your tray with some baking paper so it doesn't stick. Simply pop it in there like so. Spread it out over the tray. Now, I find it easier than using a spoon like this to actually use my fingers. But the tip here is to make sure that it doesn't stick. So just put your fingers first of all, and voila, no sticking. And just pat it down into the corners, nice and thin. Keep it really even. And the thinner it is, the faster it will dry or cook. The thicker it is, the longer it will take. And the thicker it is, the softer the treat will be. If you want crunchy, go for super thin. Use a bigger tray than this one. There we go, and you have it. Okay, after 2 to 3 hours in a low oven, about 120 to 130 degrees, this is what we have. It's shrunk, you can see, but it's a bit flexible. Again, if you want it to be crunchy, keep it in the oven for longer. So all we do is break it up into nice bite-sized pieces for our babies. You can use airtight containers, but my preferred method is always Ziploc bags. It's just easy. Remember, right on this one, this is the turkey treats. Otherwise you'll have a freezer full of bags with you don't know what's in them. Ta-da! So next up is roast chicken and veg Tritos. Now the ingredients for this is super simple, only 3 of them. We've got 500 grams of chicken mince, really easy. Pop that in the bowl. We've got a cup of cooked mashed pumpkin with the skin on. Just cook it over a low heat and then give it a good mash. Pop that in the bowl, like so. We've got 2 eggs beaten. Now, things to note here with these eggs, I've left the shell in, okay? The shell is a beautiful source of calcium and trace minerals, and you know, there's no reason to waste it. In it goes. And then last but not least is our 2-seed curcumin supplement. This supplement contains hemp seed, linseed, flaxseed, parsley, coconut, and black pepper and turmeric. So 2 tablespoons of this one. Probably good to get some of that in the bowl. There we go. And then just give it a really good mix. Okay, bake in a low oven at 120 to 130 degrees for 3 or so hours, or until dry to the touch. Air fryers are excellent and will speed up the cooking time greatly. Allow to cool and then break them into small pieces. You can store these in an airtight container in the fridge, or my preferred choice is in a Ziploc bag. Super simple. Make sure you write on the bag too that this is the chicken mix. Look, don't worry what it looks like, you just need to break it up into bite-sized pieces. Your dog won't care. Pop it in your bag, write on it, pop it in the freezer. Lucky last one, and probably my dog's favourite, the Skin Soother Fishy Tritos. So what are the benefits of this recipe? Now this is our fish. All I've done is use a stick blender and give it a bit of a hard time, so it's just minced up there. If you don't want to do that, a really good substitute is tuna chunks in spring water. Just make sure you pick the ones with spring water. If you use oil, which is never a good idea for dogs anyway, they will never dry. So all we do, again, is simply pop your ingredients in a bowl, like so. There's our cup of coconut flour here on the top there. Add 2 lightly beaten eggs with the shell included again. Like so. And add 2 tablespoons of our beautiful Skin Soother supplement. There we go, like so. 1, 2. There we go, now give it a good mix. I have found this mix does need a little splash of water as well, just to bring it together, because coconut flour is quite a difficult flour to work with. It's not like your traditional wheat flour. It doesn't hold together that well, like so. So just add your water as needed whilst you're mixing. You can see the colour of the beautiful spirulina, and that's gorgeous. So spirulina is an algae, and it is one of the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. So what are the benefits for this mix? So it's really low fat. It's great for pancreatic sufferers. It's a novel protein, which is a low allergy protein. It's high in omega-3, 6 and 9, and it's packed with nutrients and antioxidants. As I said, spirulina contains over 100 nutrients and is considered to be one of the most complete single food sources on the planet. It's an effective antimicrobial agent, particularly for candida, which is a yeast. Line your baking tray with some baking paper, greaseproof paper. So I have found wet fingers, again, work best for this. Press it down into the tray. Thinner treats, bigger tray. Thicker treats, this size tray. This happens to be the tray I use for my air fryer. And into the oven it goes. A couple of hours, maybe 3 hours, 4 hours. Really, just keep checking it as you go. And here we have it, the finished product. This actually took 3.5 hours in my air fryer at about 120 degrees. As you can see, I mentioned coconut flour is a difficult flour to work with. It doesn't hold together terribly well. The only thing that's really holding it together is the egg. Cracked, as you can see, so just be gentle with it. It's probably pretty important to mention here that these treats will freeze beautifully for about 3 months. Comfortably for about 3 months. You can probably get 4 out of them. If you pop them in the fridge, use them up within a maximum of 2 weeks. Just keep them in your airtight container in your fridge. They won't store on your shelf. There you have it. Beautiful green fishy treats. Which brings me to the ingredients to avoid in your own dog treat recipes. We're all about making healthy natural treats for our dogs, but far too often the recipes we come across on the interwebs feature ingredients that we shouldn't be giving to our dogs. Just because you're making those treats at home and know exactly what's going into them doesn't always mean that they're actually that healthy. Avoid these ingredients in your own dog treat recipes. First one is peanut butter. You may be surprised to see peanut butter at the top of the list, since so many commercial treats are peanut butter flavoured. But peanut butter is actually not that great for your dog, as most peanut butters also contain harmful fats, tons of sugar, or worse still, xylitol, which is an artificial sweetener that's very toxic for dogs, causing liver damage. Next up is all starchy carbs. Think rice, cereal grains, flours including potato flour, wheat flour, corn flour. Carbs serve no purpose in your dog's diet, and they can actually feed the harmful bacteria in your dog's stomach. Yes, this includes chickpea flour, oat flour, and tapioca flour. Don't be fooled with the term gluten-free. Carbohydrates all behave the same way in your dog's body. Gluten-free has got nothing to do with it. I've got another video on carbs and why they are so harmful, so check that one out if you like. Sugars, your doggo's already sweet enough, and he doesn't need you to add any sugars. Seriously, they're no good. White sugar just feeds all the things we tried to keep our dogs safe from. Yeasts, harmful bacteria. It can cause diabetes, allergies, and inflammation. It also feeds cancer cells. Just say no to sugar, including corn syrup, sucrose, maltodextrose, fructose, and glucose. All the names for sugar that are hidden on those ingredient lists. And last but definitely not least, artificial colourings. Sure, treats or cupcakes look really cute and yummy if they are multicoloured or covered in sprinkles. Just no, people, avoid, avoid, avoid. I hate these types of treats as they're often sold as dog safe. They may not kill your dog, but at the very best they will give him a bad case of diarrhoea, add to his body's stress on a cellular level, or aggravate skin flare-ups and yeast overgrowths. Worst case, it will overload his immune system, causing all sorts of long-term illnesses. Just skip the cupcake line. Well, if you're looking for a way to share the love with a yummy treat for your dog that's also healthy, try one of these 3 and see him jump for joy. Perhaps he may very well perform his own loop of the moon, just like that catchy, cute ad described. Hey, welcome back. Audrey here from chica+co. Today I'm going to go through a simple, balanced, raw-based recipe, or raw-based formula that is, that you can make in bulk and freeze. This one will change your raw meal game up for the better, saving you time, money, and a whole lot of stress. Oh, and at the end of this, I'll explain to you how you can get your free downloadable cheat sheet for free. Looking for a simple and healthy everyday whole food formula for your doggo. This recipe, or formula rather, will form the base of your dog's complete and balanced diet. It's an everyday base meal mix. This is what you can feed on a daily basis with the addition of some other foods like seafoods, eggs, raw meaty bones on rotation. This mix is not complete, but it is balanced. This balanced and complete concept happens over time, weeks in fact. Remember, you can never create a complete and balanced meal in a single bowl. Rather, it's a complete and balanced diet. I've done another complete video on this topic, and it debunks this entire complete and balanced food claim made by most big commercial pet food manufacturers. It's linked below. So, what's in this base formula? Today I'm going to make a beef recipe and a chicken recipe. They are both following the exact same formulation and quantities of ingredients. This formula can be made with any sort of proteins sourced from a wide variety of animals. Think turkey, lamb, goat, pork, venison, rabbit, water buffalo, and so on. These animal-sourced proteins should come from as many varied sources as possible, and each animal has different nutrient profiles. A chicken breast, for example, in comparison to a piece of beef rump, have very different protein compositions. But unless you really want to, there's absolutely no need to memorise all of the different benefits of the different types of meats. Again, all you need to do is offer as much variety as possible, and you'll balance over time. The key here is to not sweat the small stuff. Don't overthink things too much. It's important to experiment with different rotations of meats, bones, fruits and veggies to find out what works best for your furry friend. And if your doggo has a specific health issue, such as arthritis, for example, you can customise this formula to help reduce the swelling and pain of movement simply by including more oily fish and green-lip mussels, for example. You can also add 100 grams of cooked pumpkin per 1 kilogram of food to stretch this recipe out as a cost-saving hack. For more great, easy-to-follow recipes like this, please like and subscribe so you can stay up to date. Okay, let's start at the main component of your dog's diet, meats, which should comprise 70% of their daily intake. Boneless meats fall into two categories, that is boneless meat, and this should make up 50%, and then there is the boneless muscular organs, making up the remaining 20% of this portion. There is a difference, and a lot of people think that these organs should fall under the offal percentage of the diet. This is not the case, even though they are technically organs. Muscular organs are what the name suggests, an organ that has a job. They're actually a muscle. They do nothing else than move through things through the body. Confused? Stick with me. Muscular organs are things like hearts, that pumps blood, lungs that move and process air, tongue, a muscle that moves food, tendons that act like rubber bands holding the skeleton together, trachea, that's the throat, that's a muscle that swallows food, and green tripe, that's the lining of the stomach that processes nutrients. Pizzle, that's willy for those who don't know, uterus and intestines, which are long, ropey muscular tubing designed to move food through the body. Now, all these muscular organs, which is what you see here and here, have complex vitamin and mineral compositions different from the traditional meats we understand and like to eat. So the formula here is 50% regular meats and 20% of the muscular meats. I'm just using chopped up beef chuck steak here for the beef mix and chicken thighs for the chicken mix. My containers hold 1 kilo, so I'm following the 1 kilo recipe shown here. Okay, so here we have the chicken formula. So there's 500 grams of chicken thighs that I've simply chopped into the bowl, like so. Next up is the 200 grams of the muscular organs. These are hearts, chicken hearts, so they're wonderful. They're all chopped up there too. And then we have giblets and the green tripe. So that makes the 200 mix. There we go. Then we add 20 grams of liver. Okay, so the liver is the nutrient powerhouse. Very, very, very important. We've got 90 grams worth of cooked veggies. Today's mix is whatever was in season at the market, like so. So very important, don't forget to include the shell. In that goes. And today's seed mix for this one is going to be some ground hemp seed. There you go, into the bowl. Now, don't forget to give it a really, really good mix. Some dogs don't like offal, and so they tend to be really picky. There we go. And simply pop it in the container, pop the lid on, right on the top of the container what the mix is, and then pop it in your freezer. That's the chicken mix done. Now, here is the exact same formula, but now we're doing it with a beef mix. So this is the beef chuck that I was talking about, 500 grams. In we go. This is the muscular meat, which is beef heart, one of my dog's absolute favourites. Then we've got more muscular organs over here. This is tongue, and this is green tripe. Got our veggie mix happening here. In it goes, like so. Don't drop the entire bowl. Whoops, don't forget the liver. That's the most important part. Once again, a raw egg with the shell included. Again, if you want to cook this, you can. And the seed mix I'm using for this is activated chia seeds. All I've done is soak these in some water. As you can see, they've puffed up to almost double their size. And I did forget very important part of the last mix, which is oil. So the last one I was going to use olive oil. This one I'm using extra virgin coconut oil. So it's 1 tablespoon. And it goes like so. Give it a good mix. Pop it in your container like so. Pop the lid on, right on it. This one's the beef mix. And that's it. Easy peasy. Okay, now for the soft, raw, meaty bones that are entirely edible. The 1 kilo containers I'm using today hold exactly 8 meals for my 5 kilo dash ounce. That is 125 grams per meal. So rather than including these in the containers, and there's really not that much room, I like to freeze the chicken necks and chicken wing tips separately and defrost them when I need. I just find it easier this way. But if you like, you can pop them on top with the base mix and it's good to go. As you can see, there's not much room in my containers. There you have it. 2 kilos of beautifully formulated, balanced food. Don't forget to write on the lids, otherwise you won't know what's in them. And that's how easy it is. My freezer is stacked full of these base mixes, and I make sure to offer a different mix every day. There's nothing wrong with mixing different types of meats and offal together, so don't think that you should stick to only one type for each container. On top of this base formula, I offer my dogs fresh seafood and harder recreational bones to chew on to clean their teeth. I've done a complete video on all things seafood and another on all things bone related. The links are both below. Check them out for more information. Hey, welcome back. My name is Audra. I'm from chica+co. Do you love a lazy late breakfast on Sunday mornings? What can only make these better, I hear you ask? That's a brekkie recipe just for your doggo, of course. So, looking for a simple and healthy but oh so yummy breakfast recipe for your doggo? Well, in 2 minutes or less, you can prepare a delicious and healthy breakfast. That's actually less time than it takes to make toast. And here it is. There's only 5 ingredients. No cooking required. I'm going to make the 200 gram recipe today. As you can see, there are options for 100, 200, 300 and 400 meal sizes. Pick whichever one is the perfect size for your doggo. First up is the seafood. Whole raw sardines are a fantastic source of omegas, and all that lovely fish oil is great for skin and coat health too. If you don't have any fresh or frozen sardines, simply grab a tin of sardines packed in spring water. Just remember to pick one that's in water and has had no added sodium. Okay, so here we have all of our ingredients. So first up is the sardines in spring water. You can tip the spring water off if you want, or you can include it in the meal. I like to include it. My dogs like to lick the bowl. So in it goes. There's 100 grams. Like so. So we can make this look pretty, shall we? Don't know. Anyway. Next up is going to be some egg. Now, I've cooked this egg because I was cooking eggs for us for this morning anyway. Just make sure you don't use any cream or butter or any added salt. And I've also cracked the egg shell up into there as well. So that is very much loved by our doggos as well. And there goes the egg. Now it's time to make it look sexy. Okay, we can garnish now. So we've got some beautiful chopped up banana and some strawberries. Let's put the strawberries there to make it look a little bit pretty. You don't have to do this. I'm just mucking around with it because I like to do that extra little bit. Then we've got our kefir, which is 30 milligrams. This is kefir. This is a lactose-free variety here that I've chosen. It's sugar-free and unflavoured as well. So just give it a bit of a shake as well. So that's 30 mils is about 2 tablespoons. 1, 2. Slush. And then last but not least is our raw unprocessed honey, which is going everywhere. And that's just a tiny little dribble. Like so, just to make it that extra little bit of good. I'll just dribble that over the top. Like so. Oops. And there you have it. Brekkie fit for champions. For more great, easy to follow recipes like this, please like and subscribe so you can stay up to date. And that's how easy it is. Kick back, relax, and enjoy your brekkie while watching your best friend living his best life. Who said food doesn't equal love and happiness?